KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. And brought to you by Matson and the Adahi Tanu program. Cars Plus, reminding you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads up, Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Ahead on prime time, the fallout from the fiasco at Adelup. The Republicans are saying statements made by Congressman Michael Census are not true. Memorial services are being planned for murdered acting YAP Attorney General Rochelle Bergeron. Native Chamorro versus Guamanian, the latest with the Fed's case against the Chamorro Land Trust Commission.
Hafa and good evening. The reviews are out on the drama that unfolded at Adelup between Governor Lulian Guerrero and Congressman Michael Census. A Republican senator who watched the live stream and was part of a delegation to D.C. is calling him out on what she contends is a bold-faced lie.
What he was saying was absolutely not true.
Senator Tello Taitagui, part of a group of Republican senators that traveled to Washington, D.C. last month, a part of their mission to show support for Congressman Michael Census' H.R. 1365. Also on that trip, Minority Leader Senator Will Castro, Senator Luis Muña. During a meeting at Adelup before war survivors and cabinet members, the two went at it. Governor Lulian Guerrero telling Congressman Census she won't let up on her effort to push through Local Bill 181, which she said complements his work on H.R. 1365. The congressman warned her that this would only cause confusion and conflict with his efforts. During the showdown at Adelup, he bolstered his argument, saying the Republicans agree.
Governor, I very much understand that's how you see it, but that's not how the Senate is seeing it. That's also not the message the Republicans brought back when they went out there and they met with those same officials. The Republicans even came straight up to me and they said, Congressman, we spoke to the Senate and they said if we move this local measure, it's going to get in the way of 1365. And I said, yeah, I'm not making it up.
According to Senator Taitagui, he is absolutely making it up.
I don't know where he came up with that. We never spoke to him when we did visit his office. I did call a couple of my colleagues last night to ask them if they said any, and none of them said any, that they told Mike Census what he claimed that we told him. It's untrue, very untrue, and I don't understand why he would lie about that.
According to Senator Taitagui, when they did speak to him in his office, not once was Bill 181 brought up. So what exactly was their takeaway from the D.C. trip regarding war claims?
Seriously, Congress doesn't, monitor, Guam as much. This is just a technical correction. There are avenues to take in order to move Bill or H.R. 1365 through by redlining, and second choice would be to attach it to a bill that's a must-pass bill in Congress. I've heard one senator's office speak about it. I can't say who because they ask us, that's another thing, they ask us not to, mention their decisions, but our takeaway from it was there was really no issue about Bill 181 passing. One person even said it's our own money, so I just don't understand why Congressman Census would say something like that. It's so untrue.
Bill 181 authorizes the governor to pay out $7.5 million in war claims locally to about 700 survivors. This while we wait on the Senate to act and the president to sign Census' H.R. 1365, which corrects a technical flaw to allow the U.S. Treasury to release money that's already been set aside from Section 30 funds.
Following her face-off with Congressman Michael Census, Governor Lulian Guerrero says she thought it wasn't a positive or negative discussion, but rather it ended with, you do your job and I'll do mine. The governor adding she was somewhat upset at how it abruptly ended.
I just think that, him standing up and shaking my hand was a message to me that for him, this meeting is over. And even if we tried to continue it, it wouldn't probably be very informative because he just wants the meeting over. So the meeting was over. And yes, I was a little bit kind of also disappointed that we didn't continue on with the meeting.
The governor's office issued a press release inviting the community to attend and ask questions. There were several survivors who attended, along with several members of the governor's cabinet. KUAM did try to speak with the congressman. However, he just walked away with his district director, Jennifer Wynn. A man indicted for possession of 5 or more grams of methamphetamine with the intent to distribute pleaded not guilty today in federal district court. 43-year-old Victor Abijah Regis entered the plea during an arraignment hearing before Magistrate Judge Joaquin Manabusan. According to KUAM files, Regis was arrested on drug charges earlier this year, along with another man, Brian Sanchez Chan. Regis' trial is scheduled for December 24th. He remains free on bail pending trial. In Superior Court, Judge Vern Perez granted an additional evaluation for murder defendant Brandon Acosta. The motion was filed under seal by the defendant's attorney, William Pohl. Acosta is accused of the 2018 murder and rape of teenager Tamika Nauta. Acosta is on a speedy trial track. However, a trial date has not been set and now awaits the evaluation results. Judge Perez scheduled a further proceedings hearing for November 26th. Guam Army National Guard recruiter Sergeant First Class Jason Siswico has been indicted by a Superior Court grand jury. He was officially charged with multiple counts of first and third degree criminal sexual conduct and child abuse. In late September, police asked the public to locate him. He self-surrendered to authorities. He was released on a $20,000 personal recognizance bond. His arraignment was scheduled for October 22nd. Memorial services are being planned for Rochelle Bergeron, the acting Attorney General of Yap State, who was shot dead outside her home Monday night.
Rochelle Bergeron wasn't just a colleague, but a friend to Constantine Yobala. He is Yap State Government's Director of Civic Affairs. He says they work together on a daily basis and described her as fearless.
She was a very straightforward proponent of especially marginalized groups. So a very big advocate of human rights, and she's been fighting for individuals and communities for a long time here in Yap.
Yobala says her death came as a shock to everyone.
It's a small island community. Something like this doesn't usually happen. It's quite sad that this has happened. Firearms specifically is illegal in Yap.
Bergeron was appointed to the acting AG position in January. She had just returned home Monday evening when she was shot and killed. FBI agents from Guam flew out to Yap at the request of the FSM government to assist with the investigation. No arrests have been made as of yet. Additionally, they are waiting for an autopsy to be conducted.
There's coordination with the investigation, the family, and the state. In the past, we've utilized pathologists from Guam, and so I believe coordination is happening with Hawaii.
For now, memorial services are tentatively scheduled for next week while the investigation continues.
Hopefully, we can all pass through this time. It's a very sad time.
Another case of a student drinking on campus. 18-year-old JFK student Myron Hicks has been arrested for underage alcohol consumption on campus as a petty misdemeanor. According to a magistrate's complaint, police responded to a call from a school vice principal who smelled alcohol while walking past Hicks. This is the second arrest of a JFK student accused of drinking alcohol on campus this week. 20-year-old Darwin J. Fortis was arrested on Wednesday. Court documents state he appeared to be concealing a plastic bottle underneath his sweater. Officers took the bottle, which tested presumptive positive for alcohol. Fortis was arrested for underage consumption of alcohol as a petty misdemeanor and disorderly conduct. A 6-month-old baby left in a car in a parking lot at the University of Guam in Mangilao. GFD units responding to the incident at around 4:14 this afternoon. KUAM has learned the baby may have been in the car for about an hour. We're told the baby was taken to the OG School of Nursing and is fine. GPD responded to the incident. We are waiting for additional information. More than $1.4 million in attorney's fees and other compensation were discussed today in the bankruptcy case of the Archdiocese of Agana. The church filed for bankruptcy protection after more than 100 lawsuits were filed alleging clergy sexual abuse. The largest claim of $325,000 for fees and expenses is from the church's main attorneys, the law firm of Alcacer and Anderson. Next is Church Special Counsel Local Attorney John Serlahi, who's asking for more than $103,000 in fees and expenses. Meanwhile, realtors in the sale of the Archdiocese's biggest property, the former Redemptorist Mater Seminary in Jotnya, are seeking a combined $500,000 for their fees and expenses. Local realtor Remax Diamond Realty is claiming $300,000, while Keene Summit Capital is claiming $250,000. More from the three former Gura defendants' trial. Millie Taitano was excused from the witness stand after Chief Prosecutor Basil O'Malley redirects and clarifies yesterday's testimonies made during the defense's counsel's cross-examination. Taitano was a special assistant for the agency during the time of both incidents that David Sablon, Cecil Suda, and Roland Selvage faced misdemeanor charges of conspiracy, violation of open government law, and official misconduct.
If any member of the public had shown up on December 26, December 11, 2011, would you have let him into the building?
Not unless I was told by the executive director or the chairman of the board.
According to Taitano, in order for a public meeting to be held, the notice requirement is 5 working days and 48 hours notice.
And I need to clarify what you said yesterday. Was it required for the executive director or Mr. Sablon to tell you before every public meeting to send out notice?
Correct. Once they determine the next board meeting, they would instruct me to proceed with the notices.
For every meeting?
Correct.
And you were not instructed to do that for the working session?
We don't announce working sessions.
It's in this session the defendants allegedly held and decided the awardees of a federal grant that was announced the following day publicly. As well, in 2015, another private discussion was done by the board via email. Trial continues on Monday with the government's fourth witness, Mike Duenas, to testify. Stay tuned. We are back with more news after the break.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're gonna be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're gonna be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
At the mall as you enjoy your shopping, dining, or entertainment. You could also win 3 great cars from Atkins Kroll and thousands of prizes in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game. Present your mall receipts and have a chance to win the renowned performance Chevrolet Camaro, the unapologetic rugged Toyota 4Runner, or the head-turning Lexus ES350 Luxury. Getaways to Manila, courtesy of Philippine Airlines, plus prizes from Foot Locker and Burger King. The more you shop, the more chance to win in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game.
Half a day, hungry drivers. Are you spending more time on the road? Shell has teamed up with Wendy's so you can buy fuel and eat free. Just fuel up 7 gallons at any Shell station and get a coupon for a Wendy's cheeseburger or chicken nuggets. Or use 2 coupons to redeem a Wendy's cheeseburger meal with fries and a drink. Fuel up at Shell today because this deal won't last long. Quality service, fuel and food from Shell and Wendy's.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. Trial has been set for the federal government's lawsuit against the Chamorro Land Trust, but a settlement window may still exist as stakeholders are looking for ways to save the trust. Chris Barnett has more.
How to save the Chamorro Land Trust, and can Guam pull a win from the clutches of a federal suit alleging the land trust violates the Federal Fair Housing Act? That's what talks centered on today before Legislative Land Chair Senator Therese Terlahi's committee. Present, Attorney General Levin Camacho and Attorney Mike Phillips. AG Camacho saying that part of the problem is that the federal government is comparing the land trust to the Fair Housing Act, which, given Guam's unique history, may be apples to oranges.
On one hand, we have our history of land taking and colonialism and everything that we've endured, and they're working off of the Fair Housing Act. So what you're seeing it's like a square peg and round holes. We're trying to fit our history into legal concepts or legal constructs and their laws, and they're trying. I mean, I think Attorney Phillips has accurately said that the judge and the attorneys are trying to work with us, but they're not willing to go too far to where they would violate what they believe is the spirit of the Fair Housing Act.
The CLTC has until February 2020 to go into settlement agreement talks. If a settlement is not reached, a trial has been set for August of next year. One of the trains of thoughts about resolving the suit involves getting from Congress the same approval given to Hawaii's land restoration program.
If they just said, we don't find any problem with this, we're going to do it, just like Hawaii. Hawaii uses a blood test. I mean, how do you get more racial than that?
The federal government had earlier sent what was considered by stakeholders a favorable settlement agreement, but when the Dave Davis decision came down, the feds then said what they consider the race-based term of Native Chamorro in the CLTC's Enabling Act should be changed to something else.
It's way above my pay grade to make that kind of decision that would actually change Native Chamorro to Guamanian. But I wonder if it's something that together as a community we can talk about, maybe look at the act again and say, okay, maybe Guamanian is a more accurate term.
But Phillips cited a federal judge's first opinion in the case that the CLTC suit is more about land restoration than race. Phillips saying because of this, he's confident Guam can prevail in the case.
We're fighting this. We're trying to win this. We believe we can do this without a congressional act.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
High school seniors may have one more set of forms to fill out before they can graduate. It's part of an effort by local officials to try and avert a tuition increase and provide the University of Guam with more revenues. Senator Amanda Shelton has introduced legislation to help ensure students can tap into all available federal financial aid, a program known as FAFSA.
To require all graduating seniors from the Department of Education to fill out the free financial aid application from the federal government, and this will help us to see whether or not these students are eligible for financial aid if they're going into GCC or UOG, and then help us to get them that financial aid to bring more federal dollars into the university.
The bill cites national estimates that college-bound students leave millions of dollars in potential financial aid on the table every year. This includes some $2.6 billion in federal Pell Grants lost because they did not fill out a FAFSA form. Mega Drug is taking over the operations of the FHP Clinic Pharmacy, which will now be known as Mega Drug 3. According to a news release from parent company Take Care Insurance, the outsourcing of pharmacy operations will allow the FHP Healthcare Center to focus resources on core clinical practices. Take Care also announced a new agreement that adds Mega Drug's existing locations in Dededo and Tamuning to its pharmacy provider network. With regional headlines, here's KSPN 2 News.
Hafa-Day Guam, here are the top headlines for CNMI. we've been really active in getting together and making sure that we're meeting on a regular basis, and so far it's been successful. We have now come up with a draft that is ready to be submitted to the AG's office for legal sufficiency review, and hopefully everything comes back smoothly and we'll be able to roll it out and get this thing going.
The draft consists of a fee for the registration cards and the legality of growing marijuana, where Chairwoman Nadine De Leon Guerrero says they are focusing on the commercial aspect of the cannabis before moving to medicinal.
The parameters are how many plants you can grow, what is considered to be legal, in a sense where you cannot have plants growing where minors can see visibly, show you can't just have it growing out in your backyard without having it concealed from the public.
The legal age for buying and consumption is 21 and is a key focus to the Cannabis Commission for Regulation.
What's very important is that we keep this away from minors and children. We cannot stress that enough, that in order for this to work in proper tone and in proper fashion, we do have to make sure that we are protecting the minors and that it doesn't get into the wrong hands. So part of the drive with getting that promulgated and getting it drafted into regulation is that we're trying to make sure that minors don't get a hold of this without proper education.
This is the fourth meeting the Cannabis Commission has finished up, where Chairwoman De Leon Guerrero says their next meeting will be centered on hiring a managing director.
Our next meeting is going to head into executive session where we start conducting the interviews for our first hire, which is the managing director. And the managing director is a very, very important position in a sense where that person will drive the industry. There's a lot on their shoulders as well as what we have to do. We want to focus on policy and making sure that the public is within bounds of the law. The managing director will pretty much be the operational driving force behind making this industry work. So that person has got a big role to fill, and we're very excited to have them on board.
The Cannabis Commission has narrowed the applicants down to 5 people, and on Wednesday, October 23rd, they will interview the remaining applicants and fill the position.
It really is based on experience, their educational background, heavily focused on experience, I should say, because a lot of it is managing skills, a lot of it is being able to work with policy and legislative skills, I guess I should say, because a lot of it is going to be focused on whether or not we need to tweak the law based on what we're going through as the industry grows. So definitely looking out for that. We do know that nothing is set in stone. Although it is law, there is going to be some point in time where we feel we're going to reach where we have to start approaching the legislature and talking about maybe this doesn't work. Can we go ahead and work on possibly amending this so that it does work for the CNMI? And the managing director will have a big role in that process.
The Cannabis Commission has a little less than 5 months to wrap up the rules and regulations before cannabis becomes officially legal in the CNMI. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. For more news, visit SaipanTV.com. For KSPN2, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Stay tuned. Sports is coming up next.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence.
The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake, and I just, feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile, and it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident, and they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
Okay. Can I be to Alan, please?
Attention passengers of flight AJ3004, your flight has been delayed.
It's the flavor that makes you go, woo. McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich. Made with tender, juicy, all-white meat chicken.
Available in 4, 6, or 10-piece chicken tenders. Try the spicy barbecue crispy chicken sandwich too.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
We're here at Rentone East again for our Athlete of the Week. Today we have professional baseball player Sean Cruz.
Congratulations, Sean, on being Del Rentone's Athlete of the Week. Who would you like to donate your check to?
I'd like to donate to Guam Cancer Care.
2012 graduate from Southern High School, went on to play some college baseball in Kansas, and then a professional baseball career over in Puerto Rico for the Empire's Baseball League.
I started out just this past year. I just finished last summer, graduated last summer. Lucky enough to have the opportunity to make my professional debut just this past summer in Puerto Rico, and then I just finished in the Canada American League up in Quebec City. So, yeah, pretty grateful for it. I'm off to my next stop soon in Australia. Yeah.
Bouncing back from surgery in 2015. And being a pitcher, playing at the professional level, how challenging was that mentally, and how were you able to overcome that time off from injury?
Well, I just knew that coming off the injury, it wasn't going to be easy. It's never easy to bounce back, but knowing that I was going to make a comeback and I wasn't going to let it stop me, that's one of the biggest mental blocks for a lot of people. But for the most part, I just kept my head down, kept grinding, kept doing whatever I had to do to get back in shape, and now I'm still playing, thankfully.
Yeah, let's talk about some of your pitches, man. Where are you throwing that fastball at, and what are some of your best pitches?
Well, I topped at 94, 95. I'd say my go-to pitch is my changeup. And then I also have a curveball, so yeah, if I can throw it for a strike, then that's always good.
Let's talk about that, Australia. How did you get connected with Australia, and when are you looking to head out there for training?
Well, I'm actually hoping to be out of here by the end of the month. With Australia, the coaches that I've been kind of talking to, they've kept track of me since I was even before I headed to Puerto Rico. Yeah, so they kept track of me all summer, and thankfully put up the numbers, and yeah, they want me down there to play, so I just got to bring it down.
All right, congratulations. Stay tuned to our next Rentone Athlete of the Week.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by
the Michelob Ultra 2019 NPC Guam Bodybuilding Championships will be held tomorrow night at the Sheraton Laguna Guam Resort. Prejudging will start at 9 in the morning with finals at 6 p.m. Tickets available at all Paradise locations. Let's meet one of the men's physique competitors stepping onto the stage for the first time.
Afre Guam, my name is Rick Rivera, and I'm from the village of Talafofo. And this year I'll be competing in the 2019 men's physique division. I just decided to do the show just to try to push my body this year, see what I can do, see what all the hard work I've been doing in the gym pays off. I started early June, so about 16 weeks I started prepping. It was really hard on the body, especially balancing work and gym and having an outside life. It was just really hard on it, but then again, it got easier towards the end. My definite goal is to try to at least place this year. If not, it's okay, but you know, it would be a great goal of mine to at least place in my division this year. This is not just for bodybuilding. You can just do it, just try to push your body, see where it's gone, and showcase it. You know, all that hard work you've been doing. I've seen people, really big people, really skinny people, come from there and become stage ready in just 3 months. You know, just push yourself and having that mindset that you want to do it.
Mark is the best husband and father you could ask for. Right, mi amor?
My brother, he's just a big kid.
Great guy. Best man at my wedding. Just gotta keep him off the dance floor.
Uncle Mark's the best. He taught me how to seal a base.
He stopped by yesterday just to chat.
Honestly, this place would fall apart without him.
Before we close out the news tonight, here's our latest round of birthday shout-outs.
If your birthday falls on a Friday, that means you've got today and all weekend to party and celebrate the awesomeness that is you. So we say happy birthday to Zyla Rivera, who celebrates birthday number 8 today. We love you. Say mommy, daddy, and the family. Urina Rose also celebrates Urina's 8th birthday, so happy birthday to you from all of us here. And happy birthday to Megan Boswell from all of us at KUAM and Cold Stone Creamery, and let's just go ahead and say it, the entire Guam community. Happy birthday, one and all.
Remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. And of course, it is that time of the week to announce the winner of a yummy Cold Stone Creamery cake. Congratulations going out to Zyler Rivera, who celebrated his birthday today. Thanks, guys. You probably heard them. Happy birthday. Congratulations. A representative will be contacting you on how you can redeem your delicious cake. And that is going to do it for me here on Primetime. Thanks so much for watching. Jason is up next with Extra. Bye.
Avade, everybody, and welcome to KUAM News Extra. I'm Jason Salas. Thank you so much for joining me. We have a wonderful interview to get our show started off. A project to help spread Chamorro awareness, history, culture, our heritage, who we are as a people in San Diego. There are many, many Chamorros who now make America's finest city their home. We have Marilis Benaventi. Hafade, Marilis.
Hafade.
And my family and yours go very, very close, so it's good to see you here.
Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Right. And Mary St. Augustine. Mary, Hafade.
Hafade.
All right. You are an expert, I would say, in... We were just talking before we started the interview on exactly what the Chamorro presence is in San Diego. Before we talk about the whole project and the House of Chamorro and everything like that, can you just let people that might be uninitiated know exactly how many Chamorros and how strong is the spirit of our people in San Diego?
And it's, well, to make it a bigger picture, it's not even just for San Diego.
Okay.
It's really to address all the Chamorros that have left Guam or that never came back to Guam, you know, the children.
Mm-hmm.
And it's everybody that's in the mainland. And I have to tell you, this is going to be an alarming rate, that we're expecting the 2020 census to say that the people on the mainland, the Chamorros, will outweigh the percentages of people in Guam.
That's
or the
interesting.
Marianas.
There's a lot of people from like the other outer islands in Micronesia that come here.
Yeah.
We've got the same condition. There's more, say,
Yes.
one particular ethnic group that are in, are in their home
Yeah, the
territory.
percentages is increasing, and while California is predominantly Chamorros more than any other state in the mainland, it's still, it's still saying that there's a lot of Chamorros more than in the Marianas. So that's what we're trying to do in San Diego, is that we want to establish and maintain that culture where people can come to San Diego and, get their culture back, as well as educate other people.
I got to tell you, Mary, I went to the Guam Club when I was
Right.
when I was in 11th grade, and I went there.
Yeah.
Best chicken caliguin I've ever had was in San Diego. It was unbelievable. Okay, and of course, to actually the House of Chamorro is being built right now to make sure we can finish the project and do it
Yes.
right. There's a fundraiser. It's going to be, shall I say, Marilis, an art show?
It's going to be an
exhibit?
No, it's an exhibit of treasures and collections. Tesoro Jan Rinikuhi Siha. But anyway, it's treasures and collections that reflect the variety of interests and passions and hobbies and legacies also of different members of class of 1968 and their families. We've invited family members in case the class alumni feel like they don't have a collection. But we really embarked on this task because we have family and friends in Southern California. We have members of class of 1968 who are members of the House of Chamorro project, and that was the impetus for us to respond to the call for some help, to raise monies for building the House of Chamorro. It made really good sense to many of us that we help promote public education about Guam, about Chamorros, about the culture, about the language, about everything about the islands. And whether or not we ever go to San Diego, we have family who are there, we have friends, we have acquaintances who could benefit from having a cultural center there that would speak to the idea that Chamorros deserve a place in venues such as Balboa Park to stand alongside other nations and say, we exist, we exist.
And I like what Mary said about teaching like a new generation, because there may be,
Yes.
maybe even 2-3 generations deep of people that have Chamorro blood coursing through their veins.
Never came home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Never came
Exactly,
home.
and that's what they need to know, that this is home and this is who you are. I mean, if you consider, yourself a lifelong Seattleite,
Yes.
that's totally fine. If you're Wyoming born and bred, that's cool too.
Right.
But this is who you are.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, you think about it, there's Guamanian and then there's Chamorros. So I could be a Californian because I've been in California for 30 plus years, but I am a Chamorro. So, it's that connection that
Our
we're
sales
trying
tax
to
is a
bring
little
back.
bit better than theirs too.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Especially in Northern California.
But again, the whole idea is that we are going to be a cottage in Balboa Park that has over 14 to 20 million tourists a year. And that's people international. And then plus the Chamorros that come, not just the Chamorros that live in San Diego or live in Southern California or even in California, but the Chamorros that come from the other states. That's what we're trying to reach out to.
Okay, and we want to invite each and every one of you on October 20th at the multi-purpose room at the Guam Museum downtown in Hagåtña.
Yes. It's on Sunday. It's just for a very short afternoon. We're calling it a merienda type of exhibit because
1:30
it's
to
just
4:30.
1:30 to 4:30. And it's a one-time, very unique kind of exhibit. Nobody has tried this here in Guam, but we've gotten a lot of excitement from various members. We have people like Dr. Laura Sauder, Rosa Palomo, all class of 68. They will be displaying their collections of artifacts, religious artifacts, and language and cultural artifacts. But we have a lot of other members who are going to display their handicrafts, their collections. We have vintage cameras. We have mechanical jeweled pens to be in display. Some of these have never been displayed. Very unusual storyboards from Palau. A lot of
those are timeless, though.
Yes.
Allowance storyboards are beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will have a table of toys from the past, from the 50s, 60s. We will have themed tables, like a table giving tribute to the war, Vietnam War, and other wars as a running thread in our lives. We grew up in the 60s with Vietnam very much looming in the forefront, but we also have fathers who were in World War II, have sons who, and family members who served in the Desert War and the current Middle East war. So we have a tribute type of table for that. We have a number of classmates who are paying tribute to their family members who have left behind legacies in the musical arena. We have two women whose mothers are both master weavers. Loling Althagui, actually, it's her mother, Ama Althagui. Loling was our classmate. They have a tribute for her. We have travel memorabilia from different folks. We have really an interesting amount of, we have a lot of whimsical collections of angels, fairies, frogs, birds, bird houses. But it's going to be fascinating. I promise you it's going to be really interesting.
And we do want to invite the entire island community
we
to
want to invite everybody to come and take in this one-time exhibition of our of the things that I think reflect our passions and our interests. Those of us who are pushing 70s, we're 69, 70 years old, and rather than wait for the future to display this as artifacts, we're taking the impetus to share what brings us delight and bring it to the exhibit. And we have, I need to tell you.
Well, we do have to go because unfortunately we are out of time.
We have a lot of displays to show.
Okay, thank you. And there is so much more we could say about this, but we want to save it for the exhibit, which again is on Sunday the 20th, starting at 1:30 in the afternoon at the museum. Mary Les, thank you very much for what you're doing for our people.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Please stay tuned. We're back after.
All right.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Think about it. There is no sure way to prevent breast cancer, but there are things you can do that might lower your risk, such as changing risk factors that are under your control. For example, changing to a healthier diet and exercising. According to the American Cancer Society, evidence is growing that regular physical activity reduces breast cancer risk, especially in women past menopause. Some studies have found that even as little as a couple of hours a week might be helpful, although more seems to be better. For more information about breast cancer, go to American Cancer Society's website at cancer.org. Also, we invite you to join us on October 22nd to Think Pink and wear the color pink in solidarity for our breast cancer survivors and warriors.
Think Pink Together, Guam, brought to you by KUAM Communications in partnership with American Cancer Society, Island Cancer Center, and Guam Service Pros.
Start your day the KUAM way with our new streaming shows on Facebook Live each weekday. Here's your starting lineup. Mondays will give you a glimpse into our morning meetings with the KUAM news team. Tuesdays, join our group chat with Chris Barnett. Wednesdays, it's crime time with the island's law enforcers. Thursdays, get the latest info with Dave Delgado, who's in the zone. And Fridays, we get Fit AF. Fitness and fun. And the best part, all our shows are completely interactive, so you're directly part of the conversation. Join us Monday through Friday starting at 9 a.m. Start your day the KUAM way.
Each and every one of us, when we take social studies classes, knows how important the census is. It is a gauge of not only the island's population, but also how much we make, what we're spending on, how much education we have, and a whole bunch of things that really, really help our way as Americans. We have here on the KUAM couch Robert Clark with the Guam Census Office.
Hi.
Hafa day, Robert.
Hafa day.
Very, very good to have you here. And
Yes, sir.
Tarina Long, the Census Advisor.
Yes,
I
hafa day.
I know we had the great pleasure of interviewing you about, week and a half ago when you guys christened your brand new facility. So
yes,
congratulations.
At the opening. Thank you very much.
Very nice digs from what I saw.
It's very nice. I think we're very proud of that building
Nice
and
big
that
space.
office.
Very cool.
Yes.
Well, as they say, many hands make light work, and a good facility is conducive to productivity. But to the former point, you guys need help, though, because the census is a big job.
It is a large operation, and we are so excited to be kicking off the 2020 Census of Guam, and we are holding several events. We're here to talk about a couple of our job fairs that are happening starting next week, October 23rd.
23rd, yeah, Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay, so Robert, I know most people watching this right now on YouTube, their ears just perked up and like, oh wait, job fair?
Yeah.
And now immediately, I can already tell because I know our audience, we got smartest people on Guam, like watch our show.
Yeah.
They're thinking, how many hours do I have to dedicate if I want to do this, and how much do I make?
Well, these jobs, there's a variety of jobs from field operations supervisor all the way down to the enumerators who are going to be the ones going out and knocking on the doors and things like that. The pay ranges from a little over $13 to around $20. So, yeah, there's a range depending on the position. And,
That's solid money.
Yeah.
That's rent money right there.
Yeah,
And flexible hours.
And they are flexible hours too. So, you know, we're not just looking for people who, you know, don't have jobs. We'll also be hiring people who want to have something on the side too, you know, so they are flexible.
What type of qualifications do you look for? Like if someone wants to be like an enumerator and the person who, you know, I mean, those of us who are at least 25 years old, we know like the really friendly folks walk around, hi, can I, you know, ask you a couple questions? There's this questionnaire, but what do you have to do to be able to do that kind of work?
So definitely we're looking for outgoing people because, again, you are interfacing with the public. So the more friendly you are, the better for the operation. But our basic qualification is you must be 18 years or older, have a high school diploma or a GED equivalent, and be able to pass a background check.
Oh, okay. Do you have to provide your own transportation?
Yes.
Okay. And this is Guam, so, you know, we're a driving town, so, you know, you're going to need your own car.
This is true. This is true.
Okay. Okay, so this is one of several events and everything like that. What else have you got coming up?
Well, in addition to the job fair that we're having at Agana Shopping Center on Wednesday, we're also doing some village outreach. We're partnering up with a bunch of the village mayors. So far, we're working with the Dededo Mayor's Office, Agana Mayor's Agate, Mayor's Office in Ahanya, and yeah, we're just having tables out there, getting the word out, letting people know what the census is all about, and also letting them know that we are looking for a few good men and women, actually a lot of good men and women. So yeah, there are those. I think the very next thing we have in line is we've got a table at the upcoming National Guard event on, gosh, when is that? Is that on the 19th?
The 19th.
Yeah.
Is that their open house?
The open house.
Okay,
yes,
very nice.
correct.
We just had them in here the other day, some of the Guards people. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. Our office manager is Bernadine Guinness, and she has done an amazing job in the outreach, working with the mayors to ensure that we have an opportunity to reach out to the local community because we do need their help, and this is a huge operation. We are hiring hundreds and hundreds of people, so we're super excited about all of the events that we have planned.
Oh, yeah. All right, most excellent. Well, once the data is gathered and, you know, it's compiled and it's analyzed and, you know, that's not an easy job. It's very, very time consuming and there's a lot of it. When will we actually know the results of the census as it's taken?
Right, so obviously there's a lot of work, as you just mentioned, that has to happen. We are looking for data releases in the beginning in summer of 2021. We don't have an exact date yet, but that is our target.
And I tried to, you know, just gloss over like how important the census is to our way of life here, but you know, we've had some people from the Economic Development Association, or agency I should say, here that really talk about like, do not shortchange exactly how important the census is to our way of life in terms of interest rates, in terms of taxes and everything. So Robert, can you explain exactly what this means to us?
Well, I think actually Terry would know a little bit more about that. She's really good.
It's really the opportunity. It's a once every 10 years opportunity to get an accurate picture of the happenings that's happening here in Guam. So for us, we look at it as your opportunity within your community to say, this is what I make, this is what I need. And so the questions we're asking are getting to the heart of those issues, and we're using, on the back end, those statistics will be used to give your people more educated I'm saying, as I messed that up a little bit, but a more educated response to what you're actually trying to convey. So for example, if you need to build schools in a particular village, you can use census statistics to actually determine where those schools need to be based upon the information that's collected
Which
from
we
the
desperately
2020
need
census.
here.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, this is basically the foundation, the fabric of how we're going to move forward, because I mean, this is the critical data that everybody's going to come back to and says, okay, what's our population? What's the gross earning?
Yes.
Or
Where are the
median
clusters,
median earnings per household?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And like the governor said at our ribbon cutting event recently, she's like, you know, we want to find out, are we in an older island, a younger island? You know, those kind of demographic information and data are really valuable to you know, every aspect of life here on the island. So,
yes.
Okay,
really
so
excited.
for average Joes like me, right? When can I expect some friendly folks? Is it like a flyer that they'll leave in like my little door jam? They'll say, "Can you please be here between 2 to 4 on Friday afternoon?" Or like what days of the week, what times of day?
So you'll first start seeing people in your neighborhood beginning in February, and they're just going to be walking around just documenting all the different structures in the different areas. And then beginning in March is when somebody will come knock on your door and say, "Hi, I'm with the 2020 Census." If you're not there, then yes, you will get a little notice of visit asking you to give us a call, and then we can set up an appointment for what time is best to come back and do the actual interview.
Okay, so like you were saying, Robert, there is flexibility, not only for the people who
Yes,
do the enumeration,
absolutely.
but
Yeah.
also for those of us who will fill out the survey.
You know, the goal of the census here in Guam and nationwide is to, you know, to count everyone once, only once, and in the right place. That's the slogan. So, you know, we want to make sure that we're accommodating also for each resident. You know, we don't want it to be an undue burden or anything like that. So we're very flexible in that regard.
Okay, I got to tell you, when I was taking social studies, as I said at the top of this segment, we thought census was like a little bit stuffy, a little bit boring. You guys love your work.
Yes.
That's abundantly clear.
Yes.
I'm excited about the census.
I might be a geek about census statistics. So yes, I love this job. I love what the end result is going to be and what it's going to do for Guam.
Well, let's geek out on the census. Let's make sure we can make Guam better by getting all the data in.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
And we will look for you right after this.
The Holiday Pledge is definitely like an extension of the Holiday spirit, which is all about family, and it doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. I wear this uniform. I'm definitely proud of my job and what we do. I not only live it in the uniform, but outside of the uniform as well. It's definitely a way of life. I live the Holiday Pledge.